Okay, welcome to our team call. It is, what date is it? September 18th. And we are halfway through the month, which is kind of crazy. I feel like we just started September. We just got back into school and it's already halfway through. We're almost into fall. Pumpkin spice was huge and a little bit crazy. Careful, you're spilling. It was a little bit insane, but I just want you guys to know that's always a good thing. Like, it might be frustrating, it might be overwhelming, but to have something that is so like desired and everyone's so excited about is not a bad problem. I think just having that patience and knowing that it's a good problem to have is really important. I had a few things before I introduce our speaker tonight that I just want to remind you guys about. If you're in the Superstar Push group, the Disney Dash, we have our call tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and Ashley Feldison is going to be talking to us. Kate is getting married on Thursday and she accidentally scheduled hers for tomorrow. So she and Ashley just swapped calls. So Kate will be next week for our last training, which is crazy. And then, what do you want? And then Ashley will be tomorrow night. We have our Team-wide sneak peek on Thursday, so make sure you're inviting to that tomorrow and throughout the rest of this week and getting everyone in and excited about what we're doing. And then we're going to be going live from the leader retreat that we're all coming to Utah for on Thursday night, okay? So that will be really fun. And anyone who's in Utah, if you want to come to corporate on Friday morning at 10 a.m., we're meeting there and they're going to do like a little presentation, talk to us, take us on a tour, and they might even do some private one-on-ones. I hope you guys can even hear me over Josie. So sorry for the chaos. Okay, I think that was everything. You guys, I am so excited to introduce you, and I'm going to get her little credentials out because we all know how important those are. But I just laughed because Lauren and I were talking about this last week, and Josie. And we just think credentials are like so funny. You know, she and I kind of Josie. Oh, she and I are kind of alike where we feel weird about them. But I do feel like it gives you an idea of like her experience and what she has accomplished. Do you want to just run the call for me?
Josie's introducing me. It's cool.
Yes.
It's the best intro I've ever had.
Yeah. So she's been a coach for almost 3 years. She's 6-star diamond in her first CBC, 2-star qualifying in her second. She's opening up her third next Thursday when it's official. She is elite. She's an SC10 All-Star legend, and she's also a medical doctor. So that's cool, and I didn't even know that. So I thought that was really awesome. But I'm going to kind of let her, at least if you have anything else that you want to share about yourself, in terms of introduction and just kind of sharing who you are, and then I'll turn the time over to you. And if you have questions or want to talk about anything, just I'm going to mute myself, though, and let you take the stage.
Cool. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having me. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like I've never been one that is driven for recognition. In fact, I knew that you and I were probably very like-minded when in our mastermind, you said, I really still don't know what it takes to be elite. I just focused on getting my work done and it happened. And that's when it comes to rank and qualifications and all that kind of stuff. Like if you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing, it all just happens. And so I'm going to talk about the mind shift to success. And I'm going to give you guys some takeaway pointers that literally you can go and practice after this phone call. I had someone on team. So Melissa McAllister is my personal sponsored coach. And I shared this little tidbit with the team. And literally since I've become a coach, I've pretty much been her highest success club person since I've joined, minus like there were 2 months last year. I didn't like that. I'm a little bit competitive. I'm not going to lie, but Melissa usually has mid-month SC numbers, and this girl was 2 points ahead of me. Granted, I've been on vacation with my parents, so I really haven't kicked it into high gear yet. She won't be ahead of me by the end of the month. But the fact is that she said, oh my gosh, I literally put to practice what Lauren said in the live video, and there I am. And this is a coach she's not new. She's been doing it for a while. And so I'm just going to get down to the nitty gritty. So if you want this to work, you have to shift your mind to a mindset of success, okay? You will not be successful if you don't make that shift in your brain. And part of that shift is discipline, right? So there's a bridge between desire and accomplishment, right? And that's discipline. Now, getting across that bridge is the part that we struggle with, whether it's you personally as a coach or you trying to get your coaches to understand that discipline, it's more than just showing up and working out and drinking your shake. Like if that were all it would be, every Beachbody coach would be super successful, right? But the fact is, this is a business. And for the longest time, I told my coaches that, my ego, I'm good at setting my ego aside when I'm wrong. And I will admit that I was wrong when I told my coaches this for the longest time. I said that I think personal development should be number one on the daily vital behaviors, because you can't see a successful Beachbody coach that doesn't do personal development on a regular basis. So while I totally believe that it is very, very important, I changed my opinion, and I still say that inviting needs to be your number one daily vital behavior, but it's the number one behavior that most people don't have discipline about. Okay. It's just fine. Yeah. I like working out, or maybe you don't, but for the most part, the being a product of the product is kind of the easy part. You're telling me I have to drink a shake. Okay. I really like it. I mean, that's not hard, right? But the hard is the part that differentiates the people that are successful and not. And that successful mindset has everything to do with working those muscles, okay? And just like we work our muscles with our Beachbody programs at the gym or whatever, we have got to work these muscles of discipline. And a lot of you have discipline in other areas of life, but you aren't disciplined when it comes to treating your business like a business, okay? So I'm gonna just show you what I do, because inviting, look, so I'm a stepmom, and when my stepdaughter moved in with now ex-husband, but my now ex-husband and I, when she was literally 12 years old, she's preteen, you all know that age, it's painful, right? So I literally told her, look, the sooner that you can get to really not caring what other people think of you, because their opinion of you is really none of your business and it shouldn't drive anything you do, the easier life will be. And you guys, it's amazing to me how many people get to adulthood and can't really make that manifest in their life. They say it in theory, right? But when it comes down to it, the fact that you're not inviting has so much to do with, what are they going to think I'm salesy? Are they going to think this? Are they going to, who cares? Because at the end of the day, do you want this business to work? Yes or no? So if the answer is yes, then you have to make the decision to get over yourself and invite. So, amen, right? So, okay, so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just show you guys what I do, okay? So first things first, I am not an Instagram connoisseur. Most of my business is done on Facebook. So I'll let you guys know that I have a huge YouTube channel, and that's where a lot of people follow me at first. I've been giving free content out for the longest time. People find me and then they realize that there's more than just dance fitness, because my YouTube channel is called Club Fits. Some of you might know it. It's great dance fitness. But they find me and then they follow me on Facebook. So I have, if you go to my personal page, I have 5,000 friends. I have still not tapped out of my warm market, and I have 18,000 additional people that are following me. So right here, I literally, I guess that's why I don't have a drive to go over to Instagram like everyone else is right now, because I still haven't tapped out of Facebook. But you can practice this theory on Instagram and Facebook, okay? There might be a few little tweaks, but let me just show you. So first things first, those of you that are, you have friends on Facebook, I don't care how many friends you have. if you go to it, first of all, if I just do on all friends, it will show me all of the people that I see the most. So more likely it's coaches or people in my challenge group. I don't want those people, right? I mean, I do, but they're already in my tribe. So literally what I will do is I will go to college, work, birthdays. So birthdays is a great place to start, right? And this is something I do often, okay? Because if you start a conversation with someone in their inbox, both on Facebook and on Instagram, your stuff is going to be in their feed more often, okay? Obviously, both Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same big billionaire group, right? They want social media to create social relationships, okay? So knowing that, you can use that to your benefit, okay? So literally what I will do, so I will either go here and see today, now this is one of my challengers, she's one of my coaches, and I actually know her. So my message to her will be a little bit more specific just because I actually care about her. But like, let's see, my birthdays tomorrow. A lot of these people's birthdays are tomorrow. So if I just want to do a whole lot of them, I will create 2 different messages and be like, hey sister, I see your birthday's tomorrow. Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hope your day is wonderful. Much love, Lauren Fitz. I don't say anything about Beachbody. Just that, even if they don't respond, I have seen people all of the sudden, I will see that the fact that they've liked a picture or they've commented. And these are people sometimes that maybe I've communicated with them in the past, but sometimes it's like brand new. So let me just show you. So you can hover over their name. So Bonnie, she doesn't look familiar. So I'm going to click on message and I see, well, look, I've actually had a conversation with her. So this would be a great opportunity to send her a message and be like, hey sister, long time no talk. I just see it's your birthday tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. And literally my stuff will start showing up in her feed. Okay. So I'm definitely not one that starts off slow with a relationship, but this kind of thing, it gives me the opportunity when she comes back and says, oh, thank you, Lauren, you know, because I've already had a conversation with her. It'll give me an opportunity to be like, hey, I don't know if you have paid attention, but I do this health and fitness online coaching. And if you've been struggling with like maybe a plateau or the whole, and this is what I say, if the whole eat less, exercise more equation stop working for you, I would love to help you reach any health and fitness goals. Let me know if you're interested. Otherwise, have a happy birthday. And that's it. And I go straight to the punch. I invite, okay? So that is one technique that you can use. You can also, like, sometimes I like to just go, like, I hit home and I see, okay, there are 9 birthdays. And literally I will hold down control. I will click on that, open up in a different link. And this is, there, my dad's messaging me, sorry. This is a way that I can see if that person is, let's see. I don't want to click on my dad's message. Not that he's messaging me anything. It's not letting me click on this message. Either way, so I will click on, there we go. I will click on that. One, it lets me know, okay, is this person in the United States, Canada, or UK? Because I have friends from all over the world because Zumba, the dance fitness world, has connected a lot of us in countries that I will never be able to, like, you know, Egypt probably will never have Beachbody. So I know that sounds terrible, but if she were from Egypt, I would go unfriend her. That it just is what it is. Especially, you know, Facebook only allows you to have 5,000 friends. So I literally went through when I realized that I'm only using Facebook for business and got rid of, like, I don't really like working with men. I got rid of any weird men that sent me friend requests a long time ago that somehow I became friends with. So I literally, this gives me a great way to get through who my friends are and invite them. Okay. So another technique you can use to invite is, let's see, let's go. I have all these tabs open for you guys. I usually have a lot of tabs open anyway, but okay. So here is when you click on groups, you have all of your different groups, right? You have your favorite groups, you have groups that you manage, and then you have groups that you're just in, right? So I don't know about you guys, but I try and keep almost all of the groups that I manage. I used to get it where once I was done with a monthly group, I would go and just get everyone out of the group. And you have to be the very last one. Facebook, it's painful. They don't make it easier to delete a group, but I would literally go through, delete everyone, and then delete myself and delete the group. I've stopped doing that because it's a great resource to go back in and invite. So let me tell you right now. So right now so last month I got, my success club was, I think, 166. And that was just with me. I'm actually building my dad's and my brother's account too. So I had probably close to 200 if you count all of those. And it's because I was doing this beta retrain, this high fat, low carb beta 2.0 group. So last year I did a similar group. I did it with Melissa, and we had over 700 people. So I literally went in. So this is the group that I went into. And this was part of my invitation process. So a lot of people have left, but it had almost 700 members. So I literally went to that group that I'm a manager of. I clicked on members, and I went through, and everyone that I had added, I would send them a message and be like, hey sister, I just want to invite you because I know that you were a part of the beta high fat, low carb group last year. Don't know if you saw, but I'm doing another group. Would love to have you in it. Cutoff date is blah, blah, blah. And literally, and I do it all via audio. I don't type. And some people have better, success with typing. I just like it because it's quick and easy. And I can literally, I'll say, hey, Courtney, hit enter. And then that puts their message right at the top of my messenger. I'll have messenger opened up in my phone, and I will hold down the button and send them a message that's typically about 45 seconds. Of course, you guys know Facebook only allows you to have a message of a minute, right? So that is another technique that I will go in and do. And literally, you guys, you have no idea how many people, okay, let me just tell you this. I get ghosted and I get ignored all the time. Not once do I take it personal, because how many times have you opened up a message at a place or a time that you couldn't respond to it, and you thought about, oh, I'll respond later, or I'll get to them when I finish driving or whatever, and you forget. Like more times than not, that's what's happening. But they might be ghosting you. But let me tell you, so many people that have ghosted me over the last almost 3 years have come back. So I always tell my coaches, it is planting seed season every day for you as a coach, because you never know when someone comes around, it's like, man, you came around just at the right time. So if I've just been ghosted by 99% of the people that I've invited, that one person that's like, oh my gosh, Lauren, thank you so much. You're coming at a perfect time. That's what it's about, right? And I'm telling you, those other 99 people that ghosted you, you have no idea when they're going to come and be that one or two people, right? So another thing that, I want to cancel that. So another thing that I wanted to show you guys was I have a group that I've been working on. I started this group that's just, so my brand is Club Fits, because my dance fitness, you feel like you're at the club. My last name's Fitzgerald, so it's a play on words, right? So I've been building this small little community. It's a Facebook group that has nothing to do with Beachbody, but it has, almost 3,000 people in it. So literally, I will go and I will message them. I'll do join date instead of default, or you could do alphabetical too, but I typically do join date. And I will literally click on her. So she ghosted me. So I say, hey, Heidi. And then I pick up my phone and I give the 30 to 45 second spiel, and I just invite her and I let her know what I'm doing. And more times than not, they typically will respond back and that will start. But even if they ghost me, more times than not, that person will show up in liking a post or commenting or something. So even if they haven't said that they're interested, I'm still starting to communicate with them. So same thing with Instagram. So Instagram, I will go to, and of course you can't really, let me see. I don't know. I don't usually do Instagram on my computer. So I don't know if you can see, you can't see stories from here. So what I would do is I would go literally, that's my man. He's on high fat, low carb for the first time. He's embracing it, by the way. But literally I would go see who is watching my Insta stories. And most of you guys know, of course, I told you I'm not Instagram. That's not my strongest platform, but I do know that I have, anywhere between 1,300 and 2,000 people that watch my Insta stories. So I know that the very top are the people that watch it the most. So right there, you have people that are interested in you. And if you're not tapping in on that, you're just missing out on potential business, and you're missing out on potential coaches that might be your next superstar, rock star that is meant to do Beachbody coaching, right? But the fact is, if you don't get over yourself and treat this like a business and don't take it personal. If you guys knew, like I do have an assistant, and my assistant messaged me one day, and she's like, because one of my coaches was kind of complaining about, getting told no. And Leah messaged me, and she's like, I think you need to let them know exactly how many times you get told no. I don't think they understand. Like, my high success club numbers happen because I work hard. I treat this like a business. I hustle. And those are all good things. They're not bad things. So you want this to work like a business, you have to treat it like a business. Because the fact is, if you opened a brick and mortar business, let's say, drop my microphone, sorry, my podcast microphone. Let's say that you love ice cream, right? And you're like, okay, I live in a great place. I'm going to go open up an ice cream stand, and you get it set up, and you're there a lot in the first week, and you're like, yeah, this is going good. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to, let the little teenager run it. And then you show up maybe once or twice a week, and you're not really good at counting the money and how much money you're spending on it. Do you think that thing is going to last? No. But so many of us do that with our Beachbody business, right? It never ceases to amaze me how many people don't know the basics of just going in and looking at sponsorship drill down and knowing, like, which leg is their strong leg and why that matters. And if you want to build for rank or build for money, or maybe both, because typically when you do both, they both kind of happen. But the fact is that this success mindset has to be turned on in your brain. And it's a different place to go, because so much of us, especially moms, I mean, you're the nurturing one. You're the one that's supposed to take care of everyone. You care if your daughter is mad at you, right? But in this, you have to set your emotions aside, because there are so many people that need you. And it's really selfish of you to have your own insecurities and your own fears hold you back from being able to help them. Because really, you just need to know a little bit more than that next person. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a YouTube sensation. You don't have to be a nutrition expert. You just have to, one, really care about helping other people, and two, know a little bit more than that person next to you. So that's why when people have this small rate limiting mindset of, well, my town is saturated with Beachbody coaches. You guys, if you go to the grocery store, I always, when I hear that, I'm like, when you go to the grocery store, do you see people that are overweight and unhealthy? Well, yeah. When you go to the gas station, do you see that? Yeah. When you go to the mall, yeah. Then there's not enough coaches. Bottom line. I mean, just today, Melissa and I were on this amazing mastermind call with, what's her face? What's her name? Julie Boris. Thank you. I knew it was Bor something. She's awesome. I love her. I know some of the Beachbody celebrity names, but she's very well known, established. And, she was the one that was just like, I'm in a town of 1,200 people in Indiana. If I can make this happen. Oh, and her husband's a coach and's gone like 90% of the time. Oh, and she has 3 daughters that are all super active in different activities. But the fact is that she's been doing this for 10 years, and she saw the bigger vision. And I love that she has this wall, because one of her kids is in big time into theater. And so they go to Broadway shows, and she has this wall of all the Broadway shows, little plaques of all the Broadway shows that they went to. And she's like, you know what? When I have to remind myself that my hard work is for this, because my hard work over here allows me to have this as a life. And so if you want that life, you have to act on it. You have to create that discipline that you treat this business like the business that it is and not just a hobby. If you want it just as a hobby, that's cool. Then you're probably not on this call anyway. But if you're on this call, you want this business to work, but you need to have a true like self-check of, am I really treating this like the business that it needs to be? And I think a lot of you guys are going to have the reality check of no. And in fact, if it were brick and mortar business, it probably would have closed down in the first month, you know? So, okay. So, oh my gosh, girl, this is just truth. Excellent. I love that she said it took her 7 years to hit superstar. Yes, it's so true. And that's the thing. So for those of you, I'm assuming most of you guys know the 15 star means you're a superstar diamond. And there's a very small amount of people in Beachbody that ever hit that goal. So it's huge. Sorry. This is where I need the dog. Lila, stop. Sorry. Yeah, this is my life. Y'all have screaming babies. I have screaming dogs. But the fact is that she didn't quit because she had the bigger vision and she was committed to success and she had discipline that connects that desire to be able to give her family the life that she envisioned, and connects that bridge of success is discipline. It's showing up every day, not just for your workout, not just for your shake, but for your business. You have to invite. You have to get over yourself and you have to stop caring about what other people think and change that mindset into what do people think instead of that, think, who needs my help today? And if you change that mindset and start treating this as a business, you're going to have a life that you really thought you could only dream about. But it takes showing up every day. It takes delayed gratification. You guys, we all know this is not get rich quick overnight. And there's a lot of MLMs out there that are trying to snag our coaches with that enticing, you can make a lot of money. But if we were in this for the money, we probably would have quit in the first 6 months, because let's just face it doesn't matter how successful you are in the first 6 months, you're still not making a lot of money, right? The financial aspect of success definitely comes after you've put in the hard work. The delayed gratification, it will pay off. But the fact is that, man, you have to keep your mindset on that goal and know that it's just the same thing. If you were at the base of a mountain and you were looking up and you're like, y'all live in Utah, right? Or most of you live in Utah. You've got mountains. You know what it's like to stand at the base of that mountain and be like, oh man, this is going to be a beast, right? And if you are constantly looking at the top of that mountain, psychologically, it's going to overwhelm you. So instead, you just look at the trail and you take one step at a time. And that's how you have to treat your Beachbody business, right? Because it's a beast. It's a big mountain to climb. But once you get to the top of that mountain and you're starting to have not just the financial success from it, but truly all of these hidden gems that I personally didn't realize would come along with coaching. I knew that I wanted to help people lose weight. I knew the butterfly feeling that I got when someone who found my videos on YouTube messaged me, told me how much weight they lost. Like, you get that, like, oh my gosh, I made a difference in this person's life that I didn't even know. I knew I was going to love that part. But man, let me tell you, when you're successful in this business, that means that you are helping other people be successful. And there is nothing like that. Like, literally, for me to be able to see my coaches who, when I first started working with them, were completely insecure. They had lost their identity more times than not because they were a mom and pretty much had given all of them to everyone else. And they were sucked dry. And they had this much confidence. They didn't feel comfortable in their own skin. They definitely didn't feel comfortable to stand up for anything. And then all of a sudden, not only did all of that change, but now they're helping other people do the same. Like, there is nothing better than that. But guess what? Getting to that point, that mountaintop, doesn't happen overnight. And you have to get uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it is uncomfortable, especially at first when you are just like, okay, I'm going to do it. But if you use this technique and you're literally going through people that you have either had in your past challenge groups or in groups that have nothing to do with Beachbody, I would first start with groups that you manage. But there's nothing, there's some groups that literally, if you private message, you can get in trouble. I'm one to ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. That's just how I roll. So if you don't have any groups that you manage, why not go? I'll show you this. So look, I'm a huge believer in high fat, low carb. And as you guys know, the Prove It people are completely, well, first of all, they're crazy. Yes, I did say that out loud. Sorry if any of you guys have family members that are Prove It people. But literally, so I'm going to go to groups. So I purposefully joined, and I'm not a manager of any of these groups, but like some keto groups, like Keto for Beginners, and this keto lifestyle, because keto is very similar to high fat, low carb in many different ways. So I go and join those groups, one, because it's kind of like the whole, sleeping with the enemy. If you know what's in their brain, you know how to be able to come back and give them what they're missing. How many invites am I sending a day? So I try and literally schedule an hour where I'm just solid inviting. On average, I can do about 45 in an hour. So I like to get 45 to 50 in a day. But do I do that every day? No. Like my parents came to California, and I literally was able to kind of disconnect and take off so that I could be with them. But again, all of those days that I was hustling hard are so I can do this. And I don't feel guilty stepping back and taking off from my business for a few days so that I can really enjoy my time with my parents, right? But for the most part, I will set a timer and just do an hour of invitation. And when I meet with my coaches on Zoom that are struggling with invitation, I will literally tell them, the power hour. Like, so many people are like, well, there's no, I'm too busy, or I just don't have enough time. The getting, pressing play and drinking Shakeology, I don't consider that should not be in your power hour. So that and personal development, I feel like personal development shouldn't be in your power hour either. Like, you can do that driving to work or listening to, in your headphones when you're doing breakfast or dishes or whatever. Like, there's so many ways to get in personal development. I really feel like your power hour needs to be 75% invitation and 25% recognition, because recognition really is a big deal. And I had to embrace that, because I don't really care about recognition, but a lot of people do, right? So if you are one of these people that you're like, legit, I only have an hour, then set a timer and spend 75% of your time just inviting, okay? And more times than not, if you're inviting, then your power hour tomorrow, 50% of your time can be inviting, and the other 50% can be responding to the people that responded to you. But follow up, guys, follow up is the key. It's the discipline, the bridge of discipline has everything to do with getting over your fear, taking that first step and just saying, screw it, I'm going to invite. And I promise you, the more invites you do, the easier it gets. And like I said, I like the voice. And on Instagram, I like doing video. It's just more personable to me. I like to treat other people the way I would want to be treated. And when I get just a cold, hard invite from someone that I don't recognize, we've never had conversation, I've never seen them like or comment on anything, and they just come out and ask me to buy Rodan and Fields from them. Yes, I did say that, because they're terrible about that. I literally will take the time to respond back and be like, hey, sister, I'm all for entrepreneurs and you getting your, whatever, but I don't know you. And I'm not going to do business with someone that I don't know. So in the future, you might want to consider, maybe liking a few of my posts and maybe trying to interact with me. Right. And so that's what I do. So if a person has been watching my Insta stories, that's basically like an open door to be like, hey, I know you're interested in what I'm doing and what I'm saying. So do you want me to coach you? Because I would love to. And also the way in which you say it, and maybe this is because I was an anesthesiologist. I actually gave up medicine. I don't practice medicine anymore. I do full-time Beachbody coaching. I haven't practiced medicine. So I became a coach November 2015, and I told my anesthesia department the very next month, don't schedule me for anything more except for emergency cases. And I literally haven't looked back. Don't miss it at all. I love, love, love what I do, but it takes hard work. And it is amazing. And like, I feel like I'm helping so many more people doing this than I was putting people to sleep. And I'm in my purpose. And when you're in your purpose, I truly can say I've never felt like, oh, I have to go to work today. Like, I still can't believe that this is my job that gives me the life that I really never thought I could have. Because yes, I had financial freedom before as an anesthesiologist. Yeah. But I did not own my schedule. I was on call every 3 to 4 nights. Surgeons are not all surgeons are bad, but surgeons, having to work with surgeons all day, every day, the rest of your life no one's happy in the OR. And I just remember feeling like, man, all these people that have been here for decades, not a single one is happy or healthy. And so my ex-husband was Air Force. And the first place that I practiced medicine after residency was on a military base in Japan. So I had relatively healthy patients. And I got back, our next duty station was in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma has a terrible obesity problem, terrible, everyone smokes. The health is just terrible. And I just remember feeling every single patient, because I've been teaching fitness. I'm almost 39. I've been teaching fitness classes since I was like 16, right? So that's always been my passion, to help people that way. And I just can't tell you how many people I would put that mask on and be putting them to sleep and be thinking, man, if only I could have gotten to this person years ago, this person wouldn't be on my OR table. And now I get to do this, but I wouldn't get to do this full time if I just press play and drink my shake. It doesn't happen that way, guys. I know in theory, you think that, well, if my Instagram or my Facebook is perfect. No, there are a lot of people that I've seen that have really poppin' social media that don't make any money from it and that are not successful at coaching because they don't treat it like a business. So that's why you see people like I love to go to Super Saturdays and then listen, especially now that you can see the National Wake Up Call live. You see all of these normal people and you're like, well, if they can do it, why can't I? Or oftentimes I'm telling my coach, if they can do it, why can't you? Right? But if you don't make the decision to shift your mindset into the mindset of success, and you're going to do whatever it takes to become successful, and that is that bridge of discipline. And you have to create that discipline in your business where you're showing up just like you would if you had a brick and mortar business, and you show up every day so that you can open up a second business and then a third business and then a fourth business, i.e. second CBC, third CBC, right? We want to franchise ourselves, but that's not going to happen if you're not constantly showing up to that first business. So, okay, you go see, and I can go see my man anytime. No, that's exactly. Yeah, for sure. The man, nurses and medical peeps. I really think if nurses and medical peeps and then fitness professionals have the same common struggle, it's ego. And I can say this because I'm both. If you can set your ego, because honestly, if I would have opened my mind up the first time because I had so many people in my inbox like, Lauren, why are you not a coach? Like, why are you're already coaching, you're just not getting paid for it. If I would have opened up my mind the first time someone asked me, I probably would have been a coach 2 or 3 years earlier, and I probably would be making 7 figures by now. But it took a while for me to set my ego aside. And then once I finally realized it, oh my gosh, I can actually do what I'm passionate about, really help people. Not that I wasn't really helping people as an anesthesiologist, but you are definitely limited if you are in the medical field, whether a nurse, a doctor, a med tech, whatever, you are limited and it's only going to get worse. So I have a lot of people that love their day job, their medical job, and have no desire to quit it because they love it so much, which is awesome. But they also love this. So they have a side hustle, which is cool. But if you want to make this business be the everything that it can be, you have to treat it like a business and you have to go into that mindset of success. So that's all I got for y'all.
Hey, one of the girls wanted to know, so is your invite to coaching, so she said, do you invite to coaching and challenge groups? I kind of would also ask, is it similar? Are you going through those same people, and do you invite everyone to coaching, or are you more like handpicking, saying like, Kate, I feel like this girl is my girl?
I've gone through different cycles. I don't know the best answer because I definitely, and I'm sure you can relate with this. I've been so surprised at, oh, this girl's going to kill it. And then crap. And then a person that I'm like, man, I'm just hoping she gets through a challenge group. And then all of a sudden she's like killing it. And it's like, I think I want to coach. So I try and be very mindful and intentional to talk about the coaching opportunity in my groups. But if like, for example, I have a new coach right now who, something of hers was on my feed, and it might've been a birthday, that's how we started getting, connected. But I just saw a post of hers and I literally messaged her and I'm like, girl, why are you not a coach? Like, seriously, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Because of what I saw. So most of my invites, I would say probably 75% of them are to invite them to a challenge group. And probably about 25% are like, have you ever thought about what I do? Because I do have a lot of fitness people, like Zumba fitness people that follow me. And Zumba fitness people don't make a lot of money because they get, typically they make $15 per class. And so I have I have a way to be like, hey, have you ever thought about turning your health and fitness passion into a little bit more money than just what you're spending, most people are spending to teach Zumba instead of making money, to be honest. So.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. A lot of trainers and fitness professionals and Zumba instructors and skills and all of that, they all make pennies,
Yep.
They get paid like $2 an hour, I think, something like that to teach. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I actually did a live video.
$10 every time you teach.
Right. Yeah. Well, for sure. I actually, one of my coaches, one of my most successful coaches, she and her husband opened up a fitness facility, and she sees the big picture, and she wants all of her trainers to be able to have their own side hustle. Right. And so she was like, hey, will you do me a favor and just make a quick video that's specifically for fitness professionals and trainers? So I went on my live, because I do a lot of live broadcasts on my Facebook. And I did it where I could, I went through Zoom so I could screen share, and I just shared this little, here, I'll screen share again. I shared this, let me move this out of the way. I shared this little number that basically shows, like, look, because the reality is that if you're a personal trainer, you're giving some sort of a meal plan. Oftentimes they'll go to GNC and buy a protein shake or whatever. So if that protein shake happens to be something that's way better for them, that actually helps them get better results, that turns into this residual income. And that's, this is that graph that shows if you are just doing Success Club 5 every month, and that's, obviously the first, fast start bonus. And then these are obviously just customers that turn into commission from Shakeology, and then the commission from the new people. But just, if you're literally only getting 3 people every month, which is Success Club 5, which is a joke. Like, literally, if you're not hitting Success Club 5, then you need to have a legit come to Jesus talk with yourself. Because if you want this to work as a business, you have to hit it. You have to. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you do everything that you can to make sure that you're not at the end of the month struggling to not hit it, right? But I showed them this, like, this is where you start, and think about over time. And obviously trainers are helping so much more than just 3 people. So if you can just get them to think outside of the box and think big picture, and get them out of the, it's Beachbody, it's a pyramid scheme, or all the typical objections that we hear, then it's golden.
We love that.
So,
okay, do you have any questions for Lauren? I don't want to take too much of your night. You've already spent so much time with us, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, of course.
If you have a question, ask it. But Lauren, I just wanted to say, you guys, what I love so much about Lauren is she really just lays it out like it is. We get a lot of top coaches who I think sugarcoat the hard work that they're putting in. They make it look like, oh, I'm just like attracting all these people, and and that's just not going to work. That's not how it's going to be for everyone. And you do have to treat your business like a business in order to see the results of a business. If you're treating it like a hobby, it's going to be a hobby, and you don't make money from hobbies. You just don't. You might make a few bucks here and there, but it's not a business mentality. And if that's your goal, then that is great. That's totally fine. But just know that if you really want to make this business your business, like, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the work, you got to put in the sweat and the tears and all of that. And it does take a lot of hustle, but it is worth it. And I think you would say that too. Like, the hard work is so worth it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have had zero regrets since I made this decision. In fact, I was just talking to my mom today. My mom stayed in California, is going to stay with me for a week. But I was just talking to her, like, I just really had no clue how amazing this business was going to be.
I know. I was pleasantly surprised too. And it's more the people you get to surround yourself with. And one of the girls actually on my team, she sent me a message today that I just totally resonated with. And I'm sure you kind of touched on it already, being in a field where there was so much negativity. Like, you look at the people around you and you're like, this is not the type of person I want to be. Like,
No.
I was in that same situation, and I don't know why, but in education, every teacher is unhappy. And it's because they're unfulfilled because they don't get rewarded for the hard work that they put in.
Yep.
And you know what? Like, that's not the type of life I wanted to live. I didn't want to grow up to be an old grouchy lady that hated my job every day and didn't want to go to work. Like, literally, I just dreaded work every day. I dreaded leaving my kid. Like, that wasn't what I wanted. That's not what you wanted. You were sick of being surrounded by this negativity, and it really wears on you.
It does.
And when you get that glimpse of that community and that positivity, you're like, what the heck? Like, there's a whole world of people who are happy, and I needed more of that.
Amen.
More of that in my life. And not only am I going to be happier, but there's an opportunity for me to make a life.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think there's so much to that. It does take hard work, but I promise you, like, the sweat, the tears, the hard work, the sleepless nights, like, that's all going to happen anyway.
You're right.
Like, it's all going to happen anyway, and you might as well be doing something you're passionate about and that you love and that you get to love and you get to be excited about doing every single day while you're having the sleepless nights, the sweat and the tears and all of that. You know, you might as well feel rewarded. And I just love how real you are. I love how you just lay it down and you aren't afraid to tell people, like, this, it takes work and it takes time and it takes persistence and patience and all of those things. But if you stay consistent and if you do the work, it will pay off.
Absolutely. And I'm going to leave you guys with a quote. So, desire without dedication and discipline dies a dreadful death. So you don't want your desire to die. So dedication and discipline right there. Okay.
I'm writing that down. I love that.
Desire without dedication and discipline dies a dreadful death.
You're amazing. Lauren, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for just, like, the light that you give. Like, I feel like every time I hear from you, I'm always uplifted. I'm always excited. And it's just, I love our community. I love our team.
Amen.
So much. And I'm really just so grateful for all you've shared tonight. So,
and I'll see you in Vegas in a few weeks, right?
In a couple weeks.
Yay. Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping on, everyone. I'll post the recording in the team page later tonight.
Okay.
Lauren,
bye.
thank you so much. Bye-bye.